Welcome back, Wolfpack Brawlers here, and this is how to use Dunsparce. I am so excited to review one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, so let's go and take a look at the... While I appreciate the sentiments, kid, I just can't trust you to do this for your own, because I'm really awesome, and I need to make sure that that comes off as well as possible. So, the stats, as we were about to talk about, and the moves, and... Servant Boy. Yeah, I don't have any hands, so it looks like you might be able to do this one. Yeah, you mean it? Okay, so I guess I'm reviewing Dunsparce. That's what I wanted to do anyway. That was weird, but it happens from time to time. Help. Anyway, Dunsparce is very powerful, and there's a lot of things that Dunsparce is capable of. It does take a bit of support, and you do have to use it properly, and you have to just get a really good feeling of the Pokemon's limits. But once you find those limits and you can get the setup going in your favor, Dunsparce does some really hilariously terrifying things, like Serene Grace. Well, that's not what it does, but that's what it has. So Serene Grace, Pokemon moves have their secondary effect chance doubled. That sounds familiar. Isn't Togekiss like super scary and busted and stuff? Yeah, well, Dunsparce can do the same. The reason why we don't see it is that speed. The speed makes it really hard to outspeed and then like out-survive a lot of your opponents and stuff, but there is a good amount of bulk here that we didn't get to talk about any of the stats, but when we look at it right now, 100 on the hit points and then 70s in the defenses. It's not the tankiest Pokemon, but it can definitely survive and start to get set up going in its favor, and that's why we have Coil. Coil's going to raise your attack and defense, so now we're boosting pretty hard, as well as accuracy. So it's like a curse that doesn't lower your speed anymore, which is really awesome, and it just really works out. Then we have Rock Slide, 30% chance to flinch the opponent. 60% chance to flinch the opponent. Glare. Glare's a really good move as well. Paralyzes the target, but it's a normal type move, which means you can paralyze ground type Pokemon. So your limitations aren't as much as as if you were using Thunder Wave. So Dunsparce does get an edge right there. It can also paralyze more opponents before going down, so it does also open up a lot of support for your team. And then Roost. So you have Sustain, you have Huge Flinch, you have Setup, you have Status. This is a dream Pokemon if you can get it going. Now again, it's not super tanky, but if it gets off a couple coils and your opponent has a lot of physical Pokemon, or they don't have any special attackers with Focus Blast, you're set. And then now you just kind of go set up some coils, use Glare, and now they're going to get Paraflinch to Oblivion. 60% chance to flinch, 25% chance to get paralyzed, and then you're healing with leftovers, you're roosting. They're just going to get completely shut down by a Dunsparce. And that's just one of the greatest feelings. Dunsparce agrees. Now, in doubles, Dunsparce is even stronger, because let's take a look at Rock Slide. That 30% chance to flinch, well, now it hits the opponent twice, or it hits each opponent. So now you have two 60% chances to flinch your opponent, and really the only drawback is Dunsparce is really slow, so it either needs a Trick Room or a Tailwind. Let's go explore the Trick Room options. Relax is going to lower your speed. It's going to make you one of the slowest Pokemon in the game, and then you can just boost up your defenses and play that Rock Slide game. Now, the only thing I don't like about Trick Room is you can't use Glare, but for the most part, it's going to be Protect first turn, set up Trick Room, go Roost and Rock Slide, or Rock Slide and Roost until you win. I like the idea of Focus Sash because 60% isn't a perfect chance, so you might flinch one but not the other. If they try to hit you with a super hard hit, try to just blow you up, you're going to survive with a Focus Sash, and that's just going to frustrate them even more. If you aren't really worried, you can go with a Citrus Berry, because you are invested tanky, so a Citrus Berry is just going to, Citrus Berry into Roost, that's 75% of your health back. Oh, they have to deal with your Rock Slide shenanigans all over again. Now, on the other side, we can do that Focus Sash, we can run a Jolly Nature, and we can put Dunsparce in a Tailwind. Tailwind is going to be pretty much the same, except now you have that option to Glare. Like, if you don't feel Rock Slide is going to be impactful enough that you need more hard status, like a Glare, than that chance to flinch, then you can throw that down, and of course it's not going to be Relaxed Nature, it's just going to be Jolly. And then we can look for the speed right there. So pretty much, Dunsparce is looking for that huge super lockdown, like Glare into Rock Slide, under Tailwind, maybe even like throw up a Togekiss, also using Thunder Wave and Air Slash. Your opponents will have like zero chance of attacking, and you're just going to wear away at them. So it's not for super damage, it's just super status, and that's pretty frustrating. Also, instead of Rock Slide, we're looking at Blizzard. Blizzard, Tailwind, Trick Room, get it set up, throw a Timid Nature this time, and now you're going to look for that speed, and Blizzard, 20% chance to freeze the targets. Now, it is argued that, that's not guaranteed. Like, 60% chance to flinch is going to happen a lot. 20% chance to freeze, not the most reliable, but then you put that next to another Blizzard Pokemon or something like that, and now it's getting scary because Freeze is the most dangerous status condition. That Confusion, your opponent has 50% chance to not attack. Paralysis, only a 25% chance to not attack. Blizzard, 80% chance to not attack. It's a 20% chance to thaw, and you could be locked in that for a very long time unless you have a fire type move thawing you out. But if you don't, that's GG. And now let's talk about my signature Dunsparce strategy. Stockpile, Baton Pass, Minimize, Substitute, Driftblim is super strong because, I mean, now you can give Stockpile, which is a defense boost, and Minimize to any Pokemon. Well, Stockpile is defense and special defense, so it's going to be very difficult to hit you if they hit you because of Minimize, and then you can get thrown behind the Substitute. And then my idea was I throw that into Snorlax. Snorlax now uses Stockpile, so it's going to be +6 defenses, +6 potentially on Minimize, and then Belly Drum means it's going to get +6 attack. The only way to stop this is if you somehow hit through the Minimize, crit on the turn it's using Belly Drum, and then hope your crit is strong enough. Because Snorlax is crazy like that, and then that's where Dunsparce comes in. Psych Up. Psych Up on Dunsparce is going to make it to where now Dunsparce has all of those stats while doing its Paraflinch gimmick in doubles. Because like you can only use Psych Up in doubles. So you have a Pokemon supporting Driftblim. Driftblim gets all set up. You use Psych Up. You Glare, Rock Slide. Snorlax is still at +6 too. So there's huge damage, huge shutdown, and your opponent's getting beaten up by Driftblim, Dunsparce, and Snorlax. Again, one of the best feelings ever. Citrus Berry just makes it more frustrating for them to knock you out. Serene Grace, we've already been over that. And pretty much you're going to be wanting to run a very tanky setup. So pretty much what we saw earlier. And that's Dunsparce. It's just about getting those little bits of ends that, you know, if you're going up against a Pokemon that's outright going to try to rush you down, two-shot you, of course Dunsparce is going to struggle like many other Pokemon. But if they're trying to set up and you're turning your setup harder, Glare into Rock Slide, that's going to shut them down. Getting those coils is going to lead to more damage over time. And then doubles, if they ignore the Dunsparce, if they don't respect the Dunsparce, they're getting potentially frozen, they're getting like super mega flinched, and that's just what makes Dunsparce so scary. So, God forbid, if this thing gets a Mega Evolution or an Evolution and it keeps Serene Grace, world's doomed, yo. And that's kind of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a nice day.